Hey guys, welcome to another video here with Queen City Reefs and more. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed recently, everyone that continues to be subscribed. It means a lot to me, it really does. I was debating whether to make this video or not, and the reason why is because I've just been devastated. I'm not gonna sit here and drag it out for long. I got ick. I got what I believe to be ick, but it's weird because it doesn't look like ick on every single fish. Like on the fowlery tank that I have, it looks like little white dash. Instead of dots, it's like dashes. And honestly, it's gonna be too hard to pick up on camera. On the Achilles and the powder blue, you do see a lot of dots. So ones you can count. That's why I'm thinking it's ick. They haven't died yet. One, actually I'm lying. One died, but it didn't even look like ick. It looked like flukes or like thick white wart-like things on its body. So it was eating up until just today that I saw, and I hate to say this in front of camera because someone's over there watching me, but one of the fish died. Here we go. Yes, the angel one.
What? That was like pretty.
I know it was, I'm sorry.
I was like, oh my god, is it the angel fish? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, so my swallowtail female angelfish died. But anyway, so they have something that I haven't seen any scratching. Normally when they have ick, you'll see them scratch on the dirt, scratch on the rocks, you know, do some kind of scratching. So at this point, I don't know. I debated a lot on getting these fish out and putting them into quarantine, but I don't think I have enough tanks to put all of these guys into quarantine. Some are big fish, and so I had started taking down my QT tanks, but then I put them back up, 37 gallon, a 30 gallon, and a 55 gallon, and I already had some fish quarantining in the 40 gallon. So I'm gonna try something before I decide to tear this tank apart and move them out, right? And what I'm gonna try is what a lot of people call snake oil. I have my doubts as well. Years ago I tried this product and it didn't work. What I didn't do is what I'm going to do today, starting today, or if I actually already started, but I'll let you know here in a minute, is combine this product with another product that they recommend. So that's what I'll be doing. And that product is none other than RubyReef, let's see, Kick Ick Pro. I had to buy a few of these bottles, it's not cheap. And then you have a 310 gallon and it ends up adding up. With RubyReef Rally. They recommend that you use both because some people may misdiagnose what the fish actually have, and therefore Rally treats of various other parasites, I guess, and Kick It, as you can see by the name, it treats it. I'm frustrated because, as you know, I've tried to do everything in my power to keep this tank parasite free, and as you know, in one of my previous videos I mentioned that my grandmother passed away, so I had to leave in a hurry. I had fish in tanks, in the quarantine tanks, that had been in those tanks for quite some time and weren't showing signs of anything, but because of my paranoia, I just wasn't moving them into the main tank. Yeah, I treated them with the medicine that I would treat for 30 days, and then I would observe for another 30 days. Well, I was on the observation period, and nothing was coming up, and I decided, you know what, screw it, I have to go. I can't have my wife and my kids worried about the 3 main tanks that are already running, which is Mega Matrix, the Peninsula, and the tank upstairs, and then have to also worry about the quarantine tanks that are right here, plus that one. So I decided to just go ahead and move everything into this main tank. They look healthy enough. Everything was great. I was gone for 3 weeks. I came back, and when I came back, they still looked perfect. They had no incidents. My wife was gloating about how she was able to keep all the fish alive without any deaths, and yet I have some deaths. So she was taking pride in that, and the fish looked perfectly fine. In that time, because of all the tanks being empty, I started taking some down, but I did go buy some fish from a store that I knew it was obvious that there was something on the fish, but you know, because I've had some success with my methods, I don't mind it. The fish are a lot cheaper than anywhere else I have found them, and decided to just go ahead and get them and treat them here at my house. So I think during the new batch of fish that I was quarantining, and now I must have cross-contaminated. I have not been myself when it comes to this reefing stuff. I don't want to say I've been careless, but you know, whenever you have a good thing going, it's like whenever you're at a casino and you're betting money and you're at whatever you're doing, either poker or blackjack or whatever, and then you're betting and you keep winning, so you keep betting, and you know that you already have won more than what you were expecting, but you should stop and you keep betting. Well, that's kind of what I think I did during that time. I mean, even the Achilles and powder blue for more than 3 weeks. They did not show any signs, any dots, anything on their skin. Perfect until after that fact, after getting the fish from the store. That I still put in QT, but I think at some point I cross-contaminated. I mean, that's the only explanation. And so I have already started treating with Kikik. Let me tell you how expensive this is, though. For Kikik, it says I think it's a total of 5 different doses. It tells you on day 1 do this much, and then on day 4 do the same amount, the same dose. Day 6, day 7, and day 13 or something like that. You spread it out. They have. And then if it's a heavy infection, then they add a few more doses that you have to do in between those. One of the biggest containers that I've seen on saltwateraquarium.com carries 1838 millimeters. Just one bottle, and it's $40 per bottle. I have the dose of Kikik Pro because I'm going by the millimeters per the gallons that it's saying. So I have to dose 630 millimeters per dose. That ends up putting me at almost 2 bottles, like I want to say 1.8 bottles total, and that's not including what they're saying that if it's a heavy infection, do this much more. For the Rally Pro, I have to dose 525 millimeters per dose for at least 3 days straight, it says, but more if needed, and I don't know what more means if needed. I probably will do 4 to 5 days straight. I do have another Rally bottle coming. 1 bottle is enough for 310 gallons though. So I'm gonna start this medication, and you know what? Let me read off to you exactly what it says. So for this Kikik Pro, it says, turn off your protein skimmer, which I just did, and I turned off the UV sterilization. It says remove carbon, which I also did. And then it says step 2, determine the total water volume, including filtration system. So that's where I came up with the 350 gallons. It says step 3, begin on day 1 at 2 ounces, which is 60 millimeters of Kikik Pro for each 32 gallons. So that's where I came up with the 630 millimeters. Repeat on days 4, on day 7, on day 10, and on day 13. So it's a total of 5 days that you have to do it for a 2-week period. It says whether or not spots continue to be visible. So you do it through the whole up to day 13. For heavy infections, which I don't see how you determine if it's a heavy infection. I mean, you tell me, they look bad to the point that they're dying, or what if they're eating super healthy? I mean, except for the swallowtail, every single one of these fishes are still eating, are still swimming around. They eat like pigs. I don't think it's affecting them. I don't know if it's the UV sterilizer that's helping, which I really believe it is, which is why they don't seem to be heavily covered with them. And that's what I'm afraid of, is because I know that this Kikik in the past hasn't changed, but it's been around for so many years. I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna follow the instructions to the letter, and then I'm going to give y'all an update on how so this might be a long video because I'm gonna try to join all the videos together. But we're on day 1, and I dosed 630 millimeters. And then on day 4, I'm gonna mark it all on the calendar at the same time right now, which is 8 o'clock at night. On day 4, on day 7, on day 10, and on day 13. And what I was saying is, for heavy infections, it says repeat on days 3, on day 5, and then it says on day 7 and 10. So I'm assuming that and 13. So I'm assuming that for day 7, 10, and 13, which was already part of the initial steps, is that you have to double dose, I guess. So I would probably do it, since I've been doing it at night, at 8 o'clock, I'll probably do it at 8 in the morning to kind of disperse that. But we'll see. It says it's invertebrate safe and reef safe, meaning corals and all that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on my corals, and I would show y'all, but the tank has actually turned off now. Oh look, there is a difference. Let me show you. The Rittereye anemone, it looks perfectly fine. But the rose bubble tip one, or one of them, looks a little swelled up and its tentacles sunk in. But then there's its 2 babies, which are doing fine. So I am growing a lot of coralline, which I guess is fine for now. We'll see how these corals do. Here is one of my pincushion, and maybe y'all could tell me. I've done nothing with this water. I've kept up with the parameters through the Trident, and for whatever reason, it's eating algae. I mean, you can see it there, but all of its spines are coming off on their own, and I don't know if it means because it's gonna grow some new ones. I haven't done any research on them, but it just appears to be not doing well when it comes to its spines. But it's still, you know, going around eating algae and all that, so I don't know. Here's the other carpet anemone. That one seems normal. We will see how it does after the next dose and after the next dose. This is the only anemone that right now I don't see it doing fine, but we shall see. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep y'all posted.